Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy and I feel like I'm loving you. Love you such a sweet thing, good enough to eat thing, and it's just what I'm gonna do. Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy.
Welcome each and every one of you for taking time to come out here today to offer well wishes and to honor one of the greatest fire chiefs and leaders the Bridgeport Fire Department has ever had, Fire Chief Brian Rooney. Chief Rooney has dedicated the past 44 years of his life saving, protecting not only the citizens of the city of Bridgeport, but also the members of the Bridgeport Fire Department with courage, honor, and consistency in everything he does. At this time, I'd like to recognize a few honored guests, and with the following people, please raise your hand to be recognized. Chief Rooney's wife, Adriana. His son and retired police officer, Terry Rooney. His daughter, Mardell Lawrenson, and her husband, Matt. As well as many fire chiefs from the surrounding towns and members from our department, chiefs from our department, and of course our own members of the Bridgeport Fire Department. I'd also like to reach out a thanks to Chief of Police A.J. Perez, a friend of ours of the Bridgeport Fire Department, as well as members of the Bridgeport Police Department. And please forgive me if there's anyone I have forgotten to mention here, as I'm sure there's a few people I should have, but as it goes, my name is Dominick Carfi, for who you don't know me. I'm the Deputy Chief of Operations, Bridgeport Fire Department. In the past 39 years of my career, I've had the honor of working closely with the Fire Chief, Brian Rooney, who's not only my friend, but boss. I know this is the last thing he wanted, was this ceremony. So, too bad, pal. You've been giving orders long enough, and now you had to suck it up. And I know he really didn't want this, but he truly deserved this. And I'm going to try to keep this pretty short. Hope I can get through it. So, Chief Rooney came to the fire department back in 1972, at a time when the city was really burning on a daily rate, in all honesty. It was totally not out of the norm for us to have 3 or 4 working house fires every single day, whether it was a daytime, nighttime. You'd come to work, you'd be out for 4, 5, 6 hours of the day, and people were losing their lives. It was, arson was running rampant. It was really a rough go back in the 70s and early 80s. It was no joke. The term being baptized by fire, it was very real. We fortunately, we lost a few members, but with the amount of fires that we did fight in those years, we were very, very fortunate not to have lost more. We've had many conversations throughout the years. I never once remember hearing him say, I wish I could be the chief of this department. He never said it. I surely never said it. But one thing I can remember that he always was telling me to study, and he always had, since we were both firefighters. He used to always, every single night, we'd have dinner. He'd have his own spoon and fork, because none were ever clean enough from the firehouse, so he'd have his own in his pocket. And he'd go in his room after we ate, and he'd sit down and he'd study. And I believe he came out either number 1 or number 2 on the lieutenant's test. And at the time, we were so short-staffed that there were no lieutenants and no captains in the fire department. None, bona fide. So when he made lieutenant, he went right into the car as an acting assistant chief, which is unheard of. But he had enough time on the job, enough experience to manage that. So, it turned out that he proved to me and everyone else he tested against it. He was a man of his word, and turned out to be one of the few members that was able to actually do that. He has strongly led our department through some of the greatest triumphant times as well as some of our darkest days, shouldering the burden of the ultimate loss of some of our members. This time, I'd like to ask Mayor Gannon, please come forward, present proclamation of Chief Rooney.
Thank you, Chief. And Chief, thank you for overriding what you know were his wishes to kind of sneak out and quietly go out. I think it's most appropriate certainly to gather so many men and women from the Bridgeport Fire Department, the Police Department, family, to respected dignitaries and other chiefs, to be a part of, if nothing else, Chief, a thank you for your decades of service to all of us in saving lives and protecting the people of the city of Bridgeport. Thank you for putting this together, Chief. As you'll hear in the proclamation, the Chief as is the charter of the city of Bridgeport, was appointed to 2 5-year terms, and this is the end of it. Served a little more than that through the process of becoming the chief. But before that, and as you'll hear in the proclamation, or in addition to that, or through that, I'm reading the number here. Correct me if I'm wrong, because you look too young. 44 years? 44 years serving the city of Bridgeport Fire Department, coming up through the ranks. It sounds like you skipped a few. I didn't hear that before, Chief. But probably for all the right reasons, to get him to the top, where his leadership could be demonstrated over these past more than 10 years in moving the department forward. So again, thank you for that. I've had the short honor over these past few months of working together with him as chief, and seeing how committed he is, the respect that he has from the department, from other departments, from individuals in important roles throughout the state, and I'm sure beyond that. And you're going to be sorely missed. I know you have a good team in place, both with the upper ranks, and as we look to fill even some of the positions, we'll try and carry on, Chief. You are a great tradition, and to build on the foundation that you've put in place. So with that, and with my thank yous, I'd like to read this proclamation. It says, whereas Brian Rooney was born and raised in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and is a graduate of Sheridan School and Notre Dame High School, and whereas he went on to serve the United States Army Reserves, where he was assigned as a drill instructor to the 76th Infantry Division, 385th Battalion, and whereas Chief Rooney is married to his lovely wife Adriana, and he's been blessed with 2 children, 3 grandchildren. And whereas Chief Rooney attended the Connecticut State Fire Academy and National Fire Academy and was hired by the Bridgeport Fire Department on August 9, 1972. Throughout his career, he served on various engine and ladder companies, the Maintenance Division, and Rescue 5. Chief Rooney was promoted to lieutenant in 1988, captain in 1999, assistant chief in 1995, and provisional deputy chief of operations in 1998. Brian was promoted to acting fire chief in February 2005 and went on to be appointed fire chief and sworn in on May 23rd, 2006. And whereas Chief Rooney received the Firefighter of the Year Award in 1982, and he's a member of the Red Cross Board of Directors, the National Fire Protection Association, the International Association of Fire Chiefs, Metro Fire Chiefs Association, Fairfield County Coastal Chiefs, and the Connecticut Career Fire Chiefs Association. He also served as chair for the Safe Asleep program and the Board of Condemnation, and a former member of the Anti-Blight Initiative. And whereas Chief Rooney spearheaded the city's Safe Asleep program, which provides and installs smoke detectors for free, a program that saved many lives in this city. The program is a partnership of the City of Bridgeport Fire Department, the American Red Cross of Southeastern Fairfield County, and the RISAP Safe Neighborhoods Partnership. Through the Safe Asleep program, over 50,000 smoke detectors have been installed since its inception in September of 2005. And whereas Chief Rooney has been committed to teaching fire safety to the men and women of the Bridgeport Fire Department, as well as the residents of Bridgeport and our public schools. Under Chief Rooney's leadership, the Bridgeport Fire Department is on the leading edge of fire protection, suppression, and training. And whereas Chief Rooney has served the Bridgeport Fire Department and the residents and visitors of this city with great honor and distinction for 44 years. And now, therefore, I, Joseph P. Gannon, Mayor of the City of Bridgeport, Connecticut, in honor of Chief Brian Rooney's retirement and in recognition of his service to the community of the City of Bridgeport, I hereby present him this proclamation, and in doing so, hereby proclaim Friday, May 20th, 2016, as Chief Brian Rooney Day in the great city of Bridgeport. Chief, come on up here. Hopefully, a well-deserved applause.
Thank you very much, Mayor Gannon. Appreciate your time and proclamation. We have one other thing here. The Honorable Congressman James Himes had sent another special recognition for Chief Rooney from the Office of Congress, and I'd like to present that with him. And at this time, I'd like to ask Chief Rooney to come up here and say a few words.
First of all, thank you all for coming here. I think Dominic said it all. I really didn't expect this. I'm the type of guy who would just like to walk out the back door and no one's looking and that's it, it's okay. But I do appreciate everybody coming here and honoring me. It's really been, like I said to myself this morning, it's really been an honor to be part of the Bridgeport Fire Department. It's been an honor just to work for the city of Bridgeport all these years. I mean, they've been very, very good to me. I got a paycheck every single solitary week of my life since I started here. What more could I say? That's like 44 years of a paycheck, and they never once did not pay me. So I feel that I owe the city more than what they would owe me. And I'm very, very fortunate that I did choose this career. I never expected to go this far. I really was amazed that I did. But being here and doing the job, I really did enjoy it, and I'm going to definitely miss it. I'm going to miss all the firefighters. I'm going to miss a lot of the city staff that I worked with. They were great, especially the city attorneys. I had a lot of fun with them. They were really tough. They taught me a lot. I gave them a hard time, but they did the same to me, but I really enjoyed it. Working with people like that is just amazing. Also working with some of the other chiefs in the other departments was really enlightening as well. I just learned so much. I just can't tell you that. I could have never learned this in college, but I did learn an awful lot here. So I'm really going to miss it. I really want to thank everyone for coming again, and I just want to say God bless to everyone here and to the Bridgeport Fire Department. Thanks again.
All right, well, that pretty much concludes our program. There's refreshments in the back of the room. I'd like to again thank everyone for being here.